But I went to go tell her bye, and out of like almost habit, I said, all right, bye, love you. And Brielle's face, like her jaw dropped, her eyes got as big as the moon when it's full, and I got scared because she was like, she almost like didn't want me to say it. So I remember trying to take it back, like eat my words, like I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. Yeah. All right. I'm leaving, and I just left. Welcome everybody to the First Time Podcast with your host, the First Time Dad, aka Carson Matranga. I'm joined, as always, with my co-host,
the First Time Mom, Brielle Matranga.
And we have a special guest again because Brielle wanted to wake her up.
I didn't mean to. It was an accident.
Yeah, okay.
It was an accident, and I couldn't put her back to sleep.
Yeah. So the only time we had to record this podcast was literally right now because it has to go up tomorrow. When you're watching this, we're literally recording it the day before.
Yes.
And
because Carson had a really busy week.
Yeah, I did. I really did. So we need to get her own microphone at this point because she always wants to wake up and be a part of the conversation. Also, she had a really cute outfit on before this, but Brielle decided to change her right before the podcast as well.
I'm going to tell you why. Because it was a dumb made outfit.
No, it was not. It was so cute.
It was adorable and I loved it, but it was not made well because there was literally no buttons at all to change her diaper. I had to take the entire outfit off just to change her diaper, and that is not worth the cute.
Okay, well, sometimes beauty is pain, right? Beauty hurts or whatever it's called, the saying is.
Yeah,
all right, let's just jump into what we were talking about today, okay? So today, since every podcast we talk about our first times, okay? And on today's podcast, what we're going to talk about is my first girlfriend. And
who's that?
And how we met and how we got together and how we're still together.
That would be me.
Yeah, exactly. So if you guys don't know, Brielle is my first and my last girlfriend and my forever girlfriend. And she's also my first wife, and I pray she's my last. No, she will be. Amen.
Hopefully you can handle me.
Oh, God, I know. There's been some moments where I'm just like, what did I get myself? No, I'm joking. So, all right. So Brielle's actually going to start this story off because she kind of knew me before I knew her.
In 2013, there I was, and I was at a casino with my family for my cousin's birthday, and the day that we were leaving happened to be my little cousin's dance recital, and so on the way home we were like, yeah, everybody's gonna go to the dance recital. Made sense. Well, the entire car ride was hearing about how there was like this one boy dancer, because that wasn't common to have a boy dancer. And so they were telling me about how there was this like boy dancer there. And to backtrack, I loved Michael Jackson. Come to find out, Carson did too, around the exact same time.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it was when he died, and our parents didn't tell us about him before, and they were all freaking out on the news, like, oh my God, Michael Jackson. And me and Carson both were like, wait, who is that, and why are y'all freaking out? Literally same story.
Yeah. Literally same story, and then me and her both were imitating Michael Jackson, dancing just like him. But Brielle was so much better than I was.
I was just so much better.
I just stuck with dancing, and she didn't because she was scared of a man teacher.
Okay, anyways, so I really loved Michael Jackson. Like Carson said, I literally was like dancing just like him. I literally loved it. And I would watch his like concert videos, and I would just like learn all his dances and how he danced. And so like immediately I like always liked dance, but I think it made it really cool that I was hearing like, oh wow, there's a boy dancer, because I just had such an interest in Michael Jackson. And so like I went there knowing that. Well, we obviously had to get there a little early because we were with one of the dancers that needed to be there. And I remember sitting up on like the top balcony at the auditorium. And
where the recital was being held.
It was just an auditorium that had a second story, so I was up at the top, and I was with my little cousin's brother and sister, my older cousins. And again, my cousin was like yeah, there's this boy dancer. Like, apparently he's really good. I seen him at like the rehearsal.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And she's like, I'll point him out, but like, you'll see him.
You're seeing his only boy.
Okay. Anyways, and so obviously he was in the opening number, but like, to be honest, I don't recall you in that. That's not what I think of when I remember seeing you for the first time.
Okay.
What I remember seeing him, well, I remember the time that Carson fell on stage.
No, we're not going to talk about that right now.
The Wizard of Oz dance that he
I
did.
said we're not going to talk about that right now.
Okay.
That's a different story.
And so then I just remember this army dance. And all of a sudden, this army dance starts, and they're all in, like, the camo. Okay, sorry about that. Our camera died, so we had to switch cameras.
Continue with your story.
Okay, so back to what I was saying. He came out in this army dance, and that's when I really remember seeing him. And I just remember him doing this weird arm thing where he put his, like, whole freaking arm behind him, and his, like, shoulder looked like it was gonna break off. And I was like, oh, wow, look at that dude. And I just, like, I literally remember, like, the song, like, I remember everything. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know the actual words. I'm saying, like, I just remember, like, the song. And, I can just picture him, and for those watching, he just, whatever that is. What's that called?
A salute?
Yeah, the salute. He was doing that, like, marching and, like, doing stuff with his hands. And I just remember, like, dang, look at that. And I was very interested.
Did you like my push-up claps?
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. And I remember I pulled out my little iPhone 4 and I started recording.
Illegally recording me.
Whatever. And I started recording. And
God,
we actually have a picture that me and both my cousins took on that balcony, like, right before the show started.
And if for you guys that are watching that, Brielle might put it on the screen. So.
Yeah. And so I just think it's funny because that was literally the moment. And then I also had the video, but I don't have the video anymore.
Yeah,
I think Carson might. I don't know.
Yeah,
But I remember I recorded that, and I just remember I was like, wow, that is so cool. He's this boy dancer, and I really, in that moment, was like, I want to know what he looks like up close.
Yeah, she was.
I wanted to see if he was cute. She dropped her toy. She threw it on the floor. And recital goes on. I watch my cousin, but like I really was like, dang, I really want to know what this boy looks like. Like, he dances good.
Does he look good?
Does he look good? And so I remember it ended, and I was hoping that you'd come out.
Yeah.
And I could see you. But he was backstage for so long, I guess doing whatever they do. And my cousin was only in like 2 dances, so she was like, all right, let's go. And we went and ate after, and I lost my opportunity. And I was like, wow, okay. And then I think it was like a week later.
She stalked me and found me on Instagram.
I didn't stalk. Thank you very much.
No, she was like...
I didn't stalk.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
It's okay to admit, babe.
I promise
it's okay
you
to
I
admit
did not
it.
stalk
She was like a
you.
detective, because she still is one to this day, and she went and...
That's really not what happened. I'm not kidding. I didn't stalk you. Carson just likes to think that because he likes to think that somebody stalked him. Anyway, I didn't
like
stalk.
to think that somebody stalked me. I just like to think that the woman that I married like was really dedicated.
Okay, well, I'm not into exaggerating stories. We all know that.
Well,
so I didn't stalk him. I found him
feel like it
because he was tagged in a picture. So I then clicked on his Instagram and I was like, that's the dude. That's literally him.
That's the dude. So what was your first impressions when you see my Instagram? Was I cute?
Yes. And
you lying?
No. And I mean, your hair was a little weird, but it's fine.
She hates on my mohawk I had, or my faux hawk.
You just look like a triangle on a big head.
A
you were
triangle
chubby.
on a big...
You were a little bit chubby, so like your head was a little bit big, and then it's this tiny triangle. That's it. Anyway, so
Are you done bashing me right now? All right.
And so I remember I commented on his photo because they didn't have DMs at the time. I commented on under your photo and I said, "Hey, I see your recital. You were so good." No, I said you were so good.
I know.
And I actually even recorded some of your dance. Well, Carson is the type that loves to watch himself.
That's not even true. Okay, now I can pick up on the story because you said your side. When I got a very attractive girl commenting on my thing, I was like, you know, like, she's cute. I'll see where this, like, what she's trying to get at. And then she said, you know, whenever she says I was so good, I was like, oh, thank you so much. And then when she said, oh, I actually have a recording of you, I was like, oh, let me see. That was my way of, like, talking with her.
Yeah, he was like, oh, really?
Okay.
I want to see it.
Now, bear in mind, I was only 13, about to turn 14, right?
I was 12.
Yeah, and Brielle was 12. So it's like, we didn't really know exactly what we're doing. I mean, I kind of would like to think that I knew what I was doing, but at the same time, my parents was always like, you better have money, like have a job, have a savings account, and have a car before you get with a girl.
Yeah, I was never like, oh my God,
And-
this is going to be my boyfriend.
Right. I was just more so like, dang, this is a pretty girl, like, let me talk to her.
Yeah, I
you
just
know,
wanted
because
to see you.
you just wanted to see me. And I just wanted to talk to a pretty girl because I like,
Because you never had that before, yeah.
not like you, girl. Everybody, she rolled her eyes if you didn't see that, but she liked it. So anyway, stop blushing.
You!
I am blushing right now. I'm blushing hard because I like thinking back on like how we got together. But anyway, so let me pick up the story now that we're done flirting with each other. My mom also was very big on like I don't know, like she used to watch like that show Catfished or whatever, I think it was called, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So like I was kind of like, dang, but like what if she's a catfish? So she said in the thing on the comment, she's like, yeah, can you give me your phone number or something of that nature so I can send you the video. And so I literally
Okay, I didn't say that. I just said I can send it to you.
yeah, whatever. However it worked. I just remember thinking like I don't want to give this girl my number in case she's not real.
Yeah.
And at the time
They had
Kick, which was, I don't know if they still have Kick. I think they do. And basically it was like a messaging app that you didn't need to give them your phone number.
Yeah, you just
Like
had to
I
have
guess
an
it was kind of like
account.
DMs in a sense.
Yeah.
Right? And I seen that she had one on her bio because for some reason at that time, like it
Everybody
was like a
did that.
trend where
Yeah.
like, yeah, you put the Kick in the bio.
At,
Right. And I guess because you didn't have DMs, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But anyway, so I was like, oh, she has a Kick. I was like, okay, I've never done this. Like, let me make one, you know? Just so I can talk to her and see if she's like legit or not. And I was like, if she actually sends me a video of me, I'm going to be like, okay, then she's obviously real. Like
Yeah,
she was
she was
there, you
there.
know? So sure enough, I made a Kick, gave that to her. We started talking on Kick. Literally, because you're acting crazy. You hit your head on the mic, huh?
No.
Her little face. Well, that's why you don't push back like that, girl. That's why you don't act silly. Do you want your toy or not? She's like, do you guys see that? we were talking on Kick, and come to find out, I don't think you could even send the video on Kick, right? It was something weird, so
Yep.
I was like, you know what? Whatever. She's a catfish. I can just like block her or something.
You
So
can
I,
only send pictures.
so yeah, and so I gave her my number on Kick, and then that way too, like my number wasn't just on the freaking post, you know.
Yeah.
And then she sent me the video. So I gave her my number, and she sent me the video, and I was like, dang, she really was there. And so, you know, so on and so forth. Like we just kept in touch. We were talking. It was around summertime.
We then started
and
FaceTiming.
We started FaceTiming like every night. And at the time it was in the summer, and so we had like some friends down like that would come out every summer, and like you had friends over all the time. So it was kind of just like a bunch of friends like
I had
hanging
one
out,
friend.
talking. Well, yeah, me too. Well, no, I like two.
I
But
don't-
my
Yeah, we
point
just all talk,
is,
and it
yeah, we
wasn't
just like
it was never, we really never like flirted with each other like that. Like, yeah, we were
no.
like,
I mean, like I maybe we were trying, but like we didn't really know.
but yeah, we were
like
just
it
13,
wasn't
12, and that was
Right.
it. And like, really, we just enjoyed talking to each other.
right. Absolutely.
And
And again, I wasn't gonna
for
pursue
some
anything
reason,
until I
don't
was
even-
capable.
Yeah, I don't even remember why we stopped talking, but for some reason we stopped talking.
Yeah, I don't remember.
At that point.
We just stopped kind of talking, and then later down the line,
Then it was, you were
life
15, I think.
probably.
I think you were about 15, and then we got back in touch, talked for like a little bit, and then the same thing happened. We just like lost touch
Yeah.
until
there was this point in my life where I was like, I felt like I needed something, and I didn't know what that something was. And so like I was spending a lot of time like kind of outside by myself, just talking with God as if he was like my therapist. And like one particular night I remember like kind of like crying, like, God, like I just need like your help. Like what do I need or whatever.
Did you feel like it was like you were trying to like? Was that a time in your life where you feel like you were like really finding yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 100%. Well, not even finding myself, but like figuring out what else I wanted in life. Because for the longest time, okay, now bear in mind, I was 17, right?
16.
I was 16,
17.
like about to turn 17, like in a few months.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, for some reason, my whole life, I've always been a lot more mature than like the age that I was. Like, for example, in my like when I was like 10, 11, I was like going through my teenage years. My mom and dad always said, maybe even younger than that actually, like 9.
Yeah,
I was like 9. So I was like 9, going through like my teenage stage, and anyway, I'm just trying to make a point that even though like year wise, I was young or whatever, my mindset and my maturity level was a lot higher. If
Yeah.
that makes sense. I guess I was, some people say like, oh, you're an old soul, and maybe that's just the case. I don't know. But my point in saying all that is I was just praying to God, kind of trying to figure out what else I wanted in life, what else I needed in life. And it was so strange because I remember like looking up like at the stars and like just kind of like Brielle's like face almost kind of like popped up, right? And I was like, dang, like I haven't talked to this girl in like years, and I was like, do I really like reach back out to her, because again, she was the only girl I ever really like on my own was like, wow, like I like her a lot, like she's pretty, she's this, that, and the other. And it was just kind of something like always brought us back to each other, and again, we were just talking as friends, but like this time it was like, no, like I wanted to talk to you. Like I really wanted to, I don't know, just whatever. So I just trusted God, and I was like, okay, cool, let me even see if I still have her phone number. I did, but things weren't like the phone number wasn't going through, and this, that, and like I don't know, it was a bunch of craziness. So I remember I wind up messaging her cousin on Snapchat because for some reason I still had him on Snapchat. So I messaged him, or maybe I found him on Snapchat. I'm not sure, but either way, I messaged him and I was like, "Hey, could you get your cousin to like Brielle to reach out to me? Like I'm trying to get in touch with her. I can't seem to get in touch with her." He's like, "Actually, I'm with her right now." And then he sent me a picture, and I remember like, I don't know, just having the biggest smile on my face. Like she didn't have makeup on, she didn't nothing, but it was just like, I don't know. I just I don't even know how to I don't even know how to explain like the feelings that I felt. It was just like butterflies, like just I don't know, like my cup had like got filled up with chocolate milk. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I like chocolate milk a lot. That's why I kind of use that analogy. But you know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
like okay, cool. I'm glad you understand what I'm saying. And so anyway, Brielle tries to reach out to me. It still wasn't working, remember? Like, it still wasn't working. And then, literally, like, a few days later or a week later, however long it was that we kept on trying to get in touch, like, it worked for sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. I don't know. It was the strangest thing, like, going on. And then I wound up going on a cruise.
Well, at that point, Carson didn't have an iPhone. He had an Android.
Yeah.
And so it was like, when he was
Freaking
messaging
Android.
me,
No, joking.
whenever he was messaging me, it was like I wasn't getting it. And then whenever he gave my cousin his number and was like, "Can you tell her to text me?" And then I text him, and it was like he received mine, but I didn't receive all his, and it was like just acting weird.
Yeah, it was so strange. And like I didn't have anything like that. Well, no, I just said I had Snapchat to message your cousin.
Yeah.
So you didn't have Snapchat. That's what it was. You didn't have. Brielle didn't have any social media when I first met her.
Yes.
That's why it was so hard to find her too.
I got off
like
Instagram,
she got off of every
Snapchat.
social media that she had.
Yeah.
So it was so hard to get in touch with her.
And
yes,
then
I
the
forgot about
messages
that.
were being weird, and
I forgot about that.
And then I remember,
Yep.
you went on a cruise,
And I went on a cruise, and listen
he
how
didn't
crazy
talk
this
to me
is.
that whole time because he was on a cruise, and I'm like, what?
And
the
she's
frick?
freaking out,
I'm
kind of
like,
low key.
What did I do?
And literally, the entire cruise, I spent trying to get in touch with her, like buying the Wi-Fi, trying to talk to her, wait until we got into like I think we went to Mexico, like trying to get maybe service in Mexico, like anything you could think of to try to get in touch with a girl, like that's what I tried to do, right? Well,
yeah, and I had no idea. He was like not messaging me back. And I'm like, okay, well I guess he's done talking to me.
Yeah, like I remember like Brielle saying like she thought like I was like playing her almost in a sense,
Yeah,
right? Like why would you text me really trying to get in touch with me and then
you don't answer me?
Yeah. And so anyway, get this, guys.
Oh.
What? You forgot something?
I remember.
What?
I remember Zach, my cousin. showing me your Instagram in that time, and I seen your best friend KP.
Oh.
And remember, I thought, is that his girlfriend? Like, what is happening? Because, like,
No,
y'all had a lot of pictures
We both
together.
like girls, so that
Yeah.
wouldn't have worked.
Y'all both had, but y'all had so many pictures together because y'all were so close, and I was not used to seeing that. And I remember, like, is that his girlfriend or something? Like,
no.
why is he not talking to me?
No. That's
I
my
remember
sister,
that.
basically.
I know, and I didn't know at the time.
Yeah. Or my brother from another mother. KP, if you're watching or listening, shout out to you, homie. So anyway, get this. When I was on the cruise, they have like a little arcade place. And again, I had an Android. I had no type of iPhone thing at all. And we're in the arcade, and my cousin was like trying to get this iPad from like the little like scissor thing where you have to like click a button and it's moved side to side, and when you click the button, it stops the scissors and it goes and it tries to cut the rope. Yeah. And on that rope was an iPad, and my cousin kept trying, and then my grandpa was trying, and my grandpa is very competitive when it like on those games, and he's typically really good at it. Well, my grandpa wasn't having any luck, and then he was like, "Here, Carson, you try." So I tried, and I think it was my second try. That iPad freaking fell. And of course, my grandpa, everybody was like, "Yeah, like have it, like you got it, fair and square, whatever." So, and it was so crazy because it was right before we got into the U.S. water, so I didn't have to pay taxes on it, which was amazing.
That's cool.
It was literally like 30 minutes or like an hour before we were sailing into United States water. So I got the iPad for completely free. If I was because I'm a United States citizen, so if I was to win something in the United States, you have to still pay taxes on those winnings. That's weird. So, but if you're in a different country, you don't have to pay, or even if you buy something from a different country, you don't have to pay taxes on it.
Yeah, I knew that, but I thought because you won it, like I didn't think they would even think.
Yeah, no, I know it's still like that. It's kind of dumb. Got an iPad, boom, load that bad boy up. Trying to text her on the iPad now, you know.
Yes, and so then I get it was your email, it was your iCloud.
Yeah.
And I knew it was you because it was like your last name was in it. Yeah. And so I'm like, finally.
Yeah.
Freaking dude. Yeah. And then he tells me like he was trying the whole time, like his texts weren't going through or whatever.
Yeah, and she tells me how like she thought I ghosted her, and I'm like, no, oh my God, no, like I literally spent this whole trip just trying to figure out how to talk to you.
And I was like, that's so nice.
Yeah. And so, dude.
So then the FaceTiming one
and then we started FaceTiming again, and we started like the only way we could talk was on the iPad. Mm-hmm. You know, for some reason our phones weren't working, and like I was so grateful that I was capable of winning that iPad to talk with you.
Yeah, and then you started working. We couldn't barely text the whole time until you got home on Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and so it was just, oh my gosh, it was such a crazy time, and I was saving up for a car and all that kind of stuff, and like I was working, and then finally my parents. Well, no, this is the funny thing. Okay, so we were just talking. Then me and KP. My friend, Caitlin, the one that Brielle said, like, is that his girlfriend or something? Because we post so many pictures together. We were like, Caitlin, my KP, I call her KP because that's like her nickname. So KP, or as Zalia calls her, it's her godmother, so she calls her Coco.
She doesn't say that.
No, she doesn't. Okay, no, but like KP wants to be called Coco, so we got to start learning how to say Coco for KP. But anyway, so KP was like, hey, like, because KP had a car at the time, and she was kind of like, we were going places or whatever in her car. So KP was like, dude, like, let's go see her. Like, let's go meet her. Because bear in mind, we have never met in person. Carson, has never seen Brielle in person.
Oh, we never added that.
But
we
Brielle,
lived 30 minutes away from each other.
Yeah.
We figured that out quick.
Yeah, we live 30 minutes away from each other.
But, like, Carson's mom never wanted him to come see me.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Like, there was a few times where, like, I was about to.
It was this close.
And this close. For people that are watching, she held her finger, like.
Yeah, really tiny.
Yeah. So, I never physically seen her in person. Brielle seen me physically in person because she watched me dance.
But, like, far away.
But this whole time, like, again, we spoke for years. Like, what was it? Like, what is it, 4 years or something we spoke with each other?
From 2013 to 2017.
Yeah, we just talked on and off. Okay.
2016.
Okay, so like almost
4
4 years. We just spoke kind of on and off. Okay. as just friends. And then we never met each other, blah, 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 whatever. KP was like, let's go, like, meet her in person. And I was like, dude, are you serious? Like, you'll take me, 30 minutes away? She's like, yes, dude, like, 100%, like, let's go. And so then the next goal of ours was trying to convince my mother and father to let me go meet this girl. And
Wait, backtrack a little
Okay.
bit. I was on a trip for a family wedding. I came home that day, and I remember you saying, like, oh, you're finally home. Can we please hang out?
Yeah.
And I remember telling you, like, I don't know. It's kind of late. Like, I don't know if I can. I remember I got home, and you were like, can we please hang out? And I was like, I don't know. It's kind of late. Like, I don't know if I can. And you were like, I mean, like, literally, we could, like, go see a movie, anything. Like, I just want to hang out. And then I remember looking at the movie times, and then I asked my mom, and I was like, you know what? Okay. Because there was a little bit where I was like, I don't know. And so we were like, whatever, I guess we'll figure it out. And finally, I just told him, I was like, you know what? Yeah, like, let's go see a movie. Yeah. And so then you took that and like, oh, yeah.
Oh, no. And so
I'm sitting there waiting after I tell him.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, I'm not even joking, like an hour. I'm sitting there waiting, and I don't have an answer.
Yeah. So in that and within that hour, the entire time, I felt like it was longer than an hour.
Probably.
And we have videos too that KP took of my mom, like us trying to convince my mom to let us go meet this girl, to the point where even my dad was like, "Babe, just let him go. Like, it's all right. He's a big boy. Yeah. Like he's good. Like, And my mom, oh, she was not having it, dude. She was so against it. But finally she gave in, and not gave in, but I guess she was like, you know what? Yeah, fine, whatever. And so, dude, I was like laying on the floor. I was like, everything. I don't even know. That was crazy. So me and KP went and seen Boo Madea Halloween.
Yeah, Medea's Boo Halloween.
Whatever it was, like the first one. And it was so funny because KP went and like sat like rows away, like chairs away.
Sat away, and I literally
and I'm
told
like,
Carson,
dude, you don't have to do that. And KP's like, no, it's like you two, like, whatever, talk. And I'm like, it's a movie. Zalia.
Well, first I remember my mom dropping me off.
Yeah. And I met your mom.
Y'all parked, and then you came across.
Your mom dropped you off. And
yeah, you met my mom. I met right
your
there.
Mom.
I got out the car.
And your mom was like, "Dang, bro, he's cute." And
Okay. And then I remember I was so nervous that I forgot to hug you.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, we finally see each other, and I'm just like.
So we're walking.
Walking
and like,
into
the movie, and he's like, "Can I have a hug?"
I know. I'm like, "Are you not gonna hug me?" And yeah, she's like, "Oh yeah," and she like gives. It's like she was such a like innocent little girl, is what you kind of act like, and she still acts like that. I'm like, "Give me a kiss," and she's like she's like weird. I mean, she's getting better, I guess, but she's just not an affectionate person, and it's crazy because I guess I am an affectionate person. Like, my whole family's pretty affectionate, and so she comes from a family that's not affectionate.
I have my reasons. And then I remember the first thing you said after that was that I was not as short as you thought I'd be.
Yeah.
But that's because KP, his best friend,
she's like 4'11".
He's literally so short. So I was like
so
tall
mad
compared
if
to
I said
her.
She's 4'11". I think she is like 5 foot though. Exactly.
She's 5 foot, and I'm almost 5'2". So I just
are 5'2". I thought we measured you.
All right, I'm 5'2", whatever. Yeah. And I just remember he told me that, and that was that. And then we watched the movie, and
I didn't want it to end.
Yeah. And then
the whole time we were holding each other's hand, and like they were sweating, and it was all funky.
Yeah, we definitely had sweaty hands, but we didn't want to let go.
No.
And then I think we met one more time after that at the bowling alley.
No. We went to Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yeah.
I surprised you at Hobby Lobby.
Don't ask why Hobby Lobby.
I don't know. And then we went to Chick-fil-A.
Then
it was my birthday, right?
Oh.
Yeah, then it was my birthday.
Then it was his birthday, and that's when I first came to his house and met his entire family. And Carson scarred me and told me that everybody was going to ask me a bunch of questions, and they were going to literally stare and, like, judge me, basically, because that's just how his family is. And no one talked to me at all. And they weren't like that at all. And except his sister, like, told me that she thought I was a you know what because I stare really bad. And that was her impression of me. And
Now
then
them two are like best friends. You and my sister. I'm saying.
yeah,
You
no,
guys are like best
yeah,
friends.
we're good
Yeah.
now.
Wow,
But
why you took so long to? You didn't understand what I said?
no, I didn't know what you said. And after that, we went. I had my uncle's wedding, and I was at the wedding rehearsal. And right after that, KP again brought Carson to the bowling alley.
Yep. Oh God, this story.
And
Can I talk about this story?
Yeah.
All right. So after the birthday, that was like she met my parents, and then the next time we hung out, yes, was the bowling alley, and it was like a bunch of friends like getting together. Like the cousins went, KP went, another one of our friends, and like it was just like a little cool gathering, right? Well, we're saying goodbye, and I remember thinking like, I don't want to say I love you too quickly. Okay.
Did you really think
Yes.
that?
Yes, because I didn't want to say it too quickly because I didn't want it to like I don't want to jeopardize anything. I don't want to whatever. I don't know. I probably remember reading it somewhere or like thinking that was what you're supposed to do. I don't know. Anyway, but again, like I said before, my family's super affectionate. We literally say I love you after every single phone call, every time we leave somewhere because you don't know when it's going to be the last time, and that's kind of how we were raised. Well, we were done at the bowling alley, and I was going to tell Brielle bye. And now, I meant it when I said it, okay? I'm going to say that before I continue the story. But I went to go tell her bye, and out of, like, almost habit, I said, all right, bye, love you. And Brielle's face, like, her jaw dropped, her eyes got as big as the moon when it's full, and I got scared because she was like, she almost like didn't want me to say it. So I remember trying to take it back, like eat my words. Like, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. Yeah. All right. I'm leaving. And I just left because she was just awkward and as if I shouldn't have said that. And I got in the car. I remember like freaking out, dude, and talking to KP and talking to our other friend and like telling them what happened, like freaking out. And KP's like, dude, but that's just you. Like, that's you and your whole family. Like, we say, like, dude, we say we love you, blah, blah, whatever. I'm just like, I know, but whatever. And they're like, dude, I wouldn't worry about it, whatever. Well, that was wrong because Brielle, you can tell your side of the story now.
I just remember you were hugging me and you were like, dang, I really don't want to leave. And I was like, I know, and then you're like, I guess I have to. And then you like kind of like, we stopped hugging, and I just remember you kind of walking, and you said, all right, bye, love you. And then before I even, like, yes, I made a face. I remember making a face. I don't remember opening my mouth. I remember going like with my eyebrows only, like they went up, my eyes got big. And I remember you said, I don't know why I just said that.
Yeah.
And then I just was like,
no, you didn't do anything.
And then I just remember walking to the car, and then you were just like, all right, bye. And then I
like, obviously I meant it because it just came out. Like,
yeah.
It wasn't even like,
and it wasn't
like, oh, I'm gonna tell her I love her tonight at the bowl. No.
Yes,
It was
I know.
literally
and I knew that. I just was not expecting to hear that, and because I don't come from a family that's really overly like that, I really didn't expect to hear it. Like, if you would have heard me say that, it would have not been like that because you're just used to everybody saying that. And like, his family has like so many people that aren't family that come in and they all say I love you. Like, it wasn't that I freaked out and thought like, what the hell, why would this dude tell me that? It was just like, it literally took me by surprise, and so I didn't know what to do, and that came across as like I didn't want him to just have done that, and it wasn't really that. It was just like I literally was just taken back. And I remember we didn't talk the whole time, like on the ride home, and then finally when I got back to my cousin's, and I guess you got back, and he freaking like freaked out and told his mom, and I remember getting like a text from you.
That wasn't until the next day.
No, I remember it was right before I went to sleep. I was in bed. I remember.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't tell my mom about it till the next day.
Oh, I thought you got home and immediately
No.
did. Oh,
No.
that's what I always heard. And so then
that wasn't until the next morning.
Oh, okay. And I got a long text from you.
Yeah.
And then I expressed like my thing was like, I don't even remember what was said, but I know you
Basically,
said.
you said something like, I just didn't like how you said that. I didn't mean to say that. And like then she was kind of like butthurt with that. But I'm like, but you didn't say it back for me to even be like, well, I did mean it. I just didn't, like I wasn't trying to say it just yet.
Which
like,
it's already weird for
like
me to
nothing.
say it back in general. So.
But this is where it takes me off, okay? Because she used to say my love to me. Like that's what she called me, right? Like when we were boyfriend and girlfriend. Or no, we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend yet.
Even at this point, we weren't.
Even at this point, we weren't.
Carson assumed we were.
I did because I didn't know that you have to like ask to be boyfriend and girlfriend. Like I knew like to get married you asked, but I didn't think boyfriend and girlfriend. Like we were acting like boyfriend and girlfriend,
one day
dude.
just like and I said like you're my girlfriend. I was like, what are you even talking about? You never asked me that.
And I'm like, oh crap, I gotta ask her. Okay, like let me figure this out now. Let me figure out how to ask you. So anyway, we could talk about that too. Anyway, she called me my love. So again, my friends and everybody, they were like, dude, it's not that big of a deal because she says like my love and she said like whatever. After I said I love you and I'm like whatever, like after that whole incident, she does not call me anything now. Not on text messages, not in real life, not anything.
Okay, let me just.
She'll say car. And I'm like, and that's like rare too. But then also I'm like, she's kind of been doing it more now that we have Zalia, and I'm like, you can't call me car in front of Zalia. Like,
listen to me.
Like, you have to call me Dede so she knows that I'm Dede.
Let me explain my side now.
Right?
He thinks that ever since he said I love you that I stopped calling that.
That's true.
I'm gonna tell the truth.
Oh my god, here we go.
I only said.
Oh my god.
I only called you that on text because I thought that's what you do when you like somebody. Like I didn't like that was not comfortable for me to do. I just did it because I thought like everybody in my life that was in a relationship always called people like babe, baby, my love, whatever. Like I've always seen, even in the movies, like I just seen that. And so I really was like, I'm gonna try this out. But like I am just not and that now type of person. I did.
You know what? Oh my gosh, you did catfish me. Because she made me believe that I was her love and I was her babe and all this, that, and the other. But then when it actually came said and done, she literally doesn't do it anymore. Now that we're married and everything, she really doesn't do it. Carson, and I'm like, dang, like the more you get in with me, the less you actually show your affection and love. And it's crazy.
Yeah, because in person, I never said that to you.
Didn't have to.
I didn't even say it on FaceTime. We've barely
seen each other in person.
I never even said it on FaceTime.
It doesn't matter.
And I remember... Hold on. Ew. I remember after the whole incident of saying I love you, I remember... It was awkward because you were like, okay, do I tell you that bye on the phone now? Like, do we say that? And I remember, like, I was so uncomfortable. Like, I remember, because I just didn't do that. It was nothing with you. I don't even do that, like, ever.
But so what?
And I remember, like, so you'd say love you, and, like, I was forced to say love you because I didn't want to be a jerk. And, like, it's not that I didn't. I wouldn't use the
word force.
No, I'm saying that I felt like, well, I have to say it back. That's a jerk if I don't. But, like, it was uncomfortable for me because it wasn't natural. Mm-hmm. And it's not that I didn't feel that to you. It was just, like, you know that I'm just like that. And so I remember, like, I never said that in person. I never said it on FaceTime. I never said it on the phone. I only texted it because I really thought, like, that's just, like, what you do. And so...
Yeah, it is, babe. So you should.
And so...
Come on.
I didn't catfish you, and it's not that, like, it means that I think any less of you or have different feelings towards you. He thinks that because his freaking love language is words of affirmation. So he thinks just because I don't call him honey, babe, baby, love, whatever, anything, that for some reason I don't love him as much as he loves me, but that's just not true. We just show it differently.
I don't actually believe that. I just mess with her.
So... I just remember that being, like, weird. And then, what, after that, So, after that, I did go to my mom the next morning, and I was like, dude... And, like, I remember crying, and I was like, I messed up. And my mom's thinking, like... You cried?
I mean, a little bit, because, like, I was...
You were like...
I mean, stop. Don't make me sound like that. I'm just being genuine, because, like, this is, like, the first time I feel like I messed something, like, really good up in my life. Like, something that was really good going. Funny. And I really thought I messed it up. And my mom thought, like, I did drugs or, like, I drank alcohol or something like that. And I'm like, and then when I told her, she goes, oh, my God, you had me, like, scared. She's like, I know you better than that. She's like, but, Carson, it's fine. Like, that's just who we are. It's like what we say, that's what we do. And I was like, I know, but, like, I don't want to mess this up.
She was like, and she's you don't need to be with this little girl that is mad at you for saying I love you.
No, she did not. She was like, okay, let me see. And she, like, helped me, like, write something, basically, to, like, you know, like... whatever, because, you know, I was scared.
One thing about Carson.
What?
What?
What'd you say?
I said that is one thing about Carson.
What?
You used to get people to write stuff for you or help you.
I didn't go to school.
It never came within.
That is such a lie. That is such... No.
Yeah.
It always came from within. Don't even. I just didn't know what to do in that situation. I felt like I was going to lose the best thing that happened to me so far.
That was the best thing that ever happened to you?
So far. Point? Yeah. Dance was, but then I found you.
You'd say I'm better than dance?
I married you, didn't I? I didn't marry dance.
Dance is still a part of your life.
Yeah, but if I'd married dance
is your
would
career.
be every second of my life. You and my family is every second of my life.
So I'm the best thing that ever happened to you?
Yes.
She's not?
Babe, you gave me her.
So I am?
Yes. Well, I mean, I guess technically God is, but like he was always there. So no, yeah, you were the best thing that ever happened. Well, no, but then I wouldn't have you if I didn't have dance, though. Think about it.
Huh?
I wouldn't have you if I didn't have dance. So maybe I do have to give it all to dance.
That's what I'm saying. We literally met because of dance.
True.
That's what I try saying.
We didn't say it.
So dance is the best thing that ever happened to him.
And you.
And I'm the best thing that he ever loved.
Okay, whatever. I don't know. This is getting too deep and silly. So basically, boom. Okay, after I went, thought I friggin' lost her forever.
Carson is not holding her by her neck. It just looks like that.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
He's holding her by her chest. Just for everyone that's watching.
It does kind of look like that. Anyway, so after that day, I went to my mom or whatever, and Brielle texted me back. We were cool after that. Then yeah, Brielle kind of spoke about on FaceTime. We're like, okay, what do we do when we say goodbye now? Do we say I love you? What do we do? We wound up saying I love you, and then rest is history. But let's get to when I actually be my girlfriend, because at that point, that's kind of like the next big thing that happened, right? Is that?
Yeah, that happened in November.
That happened all in November, yeah.
Of 2016.
Yeah.
And then January came 6th, about. Yep. 2017.
Yep.
Carson was very adamant about me going over, and I believe it was on a Friday night.
Yeah, I think so.
And he was very adamant about me coming over there. And one thing about being young, whatever, he didn't have a car. I didn't have a license. I was 15. And I would have I was turning 16 that March. And so at that point, obviously, that wasn't happening. And so a lot of the time we unfortunately had to have people bring us and drop us off. And I remember that night, it was a Friday night, and I think KP had something, so she wasn't coming to get me.
And my parents let me use their secondary car, but they didn't let me drive on the interstate. Since Brielle lived 30 minutes away, it was difficult. If she lived a couple streets down, we probably would have seen each other a lot more, and because I could drive there. But I was still saving up for a car.
I remember he apparently secretly texted my sister and asked
and I told her I would pay her if she brought her, and that's the only way.
And
that she would
kind of told her what was gonna be going on.
Yeah.
And how he was gonna be asking me to be his girlfriend, and it was important. And Carson's very specific and sentimental when it comes to numbers also. So he was set on this date being the date that he asked me to be his girlfriend. So that's why this was this needs to happen. It wasn't he could wait.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so
January 6th, 2017. Think about it.
16, 17, boy.
That's kind of cool.
And so, my cousin and my sister dropped me off, and I went over there, and we were just hanging out, and then all of a sudden we kind of went into his room. Not like that. That sounds weird, but the door was open.
Yeah.
We were just chilling in there, and I remember I was showing him something on my phone. Mm-hmm. And he took that opportunity
to text you a link.
To send me a link on Snapchat. Because we texted on Snapchat after that for a while. Because he had an Android, and I was not texting nobody with the green messages Android. I hated that.
It wasn't working anyway.
And so we always were on Snapchat. And so all of a sudden I get a Snapchat when he's next to me. And I'm like, what the heck? And he's with a smile. And so it just says, watch this, ... And he's click it. And so I click it. And it's a video that he made me. And it was him dancing. And then throughout, it was to our song, by the way.
Yeah, the same song that we danced, our first dance when we got married.
Yes. And Say You Won't Let Go by James Arthur. Love that for us. And so I just remember it was him dancing, and at first it was just you dancing, and I was like, "Oh, to our song, that's so sweet." I didn't say that. I don't want to talk. I was thinking that inside, and then I see our pictures come up, and I was like, "Wait, this is a little something different than just a dance video."
Yeah.
And he just made a collage of like all the pictures we had at that point in
like
videos,
while I was dancing,
while
it was kind of popping up like around me.
And then the end of it is like he comes on, and then he is like, "Carson, I think you have to ask her something."
Yeah, I said,
like,
go ahead, future Carson, ask her.
And then I was like, "Oh my God, I'm about to get married." I'm just kidding. And so then I just remember you took the phone away. You put my phone down. And then you like looked at me, and then you were just like, you know, smiling really big, like doing what he's right there with a little chuckle. And then you just asked me, like, will you be my girlfriend? You might have said some other stuff. I don't really remember. I'm sorry.
I said, Melanie Brielle Smith?
No. And so, yeah, he asked me to be his girlfriend. And I was like, yes. And then we just hugged.
And Brielle was crying.
I cried.
Yeah, you were teary-eyed. Don't even lie.
Oh, well, yeah, I was teary. But you made it seem, I thought you were, like, acting like you were, like, hugging me and I was sobbing or something.
No.
And so
it was
then
like a cute cry.
You know, I remember you took me in your mom's room and everybody's in there, and they were like, they knew it was happening, and they kind of were like, so, and then you were like, she said yes, and I'm just like, oh my God, we're literally getting married. And I just remember it was weird.
I don't remember that.
And then you
part,
told me like your sister knows, your dad knows, Victoria knew, my cousin knew because you sent them it, like, and I was just like, and then at that point I knew how extra he was. And I knew, like, oh, Lord, the proposal, if we get married, is going to be extra.
And it really was going to be, but COVID happened. And that's a whole different thing that we can get into on a different video. But let's end it there. I think that was a perfect way to end it.
Yep.
That's how I
found
my first girlfriend. That's how we met. And it's definitely a lengthy version of literally every story up until we became boyfriend and girlfriend. We've kind of talked about like how we met before, but like this is obviously super in detail.
Just so everybody kind of like, if you can visualize it, it was from September of 2016 to January 2017 that we talked, like, not boyfriend and girlfriend. Well, I mean, he thought we were, but we weren't. And then it was January 2017.
So like 3 to 4 months. We kind of were just talking back and forth.
Yeah.
Like flirting, talking. Like
we knew we liked each other. We knew that. Well, Carson knew he loved me.
And I thought she loved me, saying, my love, good night, my love. I mean, obviously she loves me. Look, I have this little daughter in my hands right now.
That looks just like him. I mean, I wouldn't have done that for nothing.
That was funny, babe. She keeps talking. We need to get her a microphone next time. Oh, we should get her a little like microphone chew toy.
Aww.
Teething toy or whatever. I thought chew toy. I think she's a dog. All right. So that has been it. We hope you enjoyed. And don't forget, it's never too late.
Oh, that's our outro?
I don't know. I think so.
That was like our video outro. It sounded like we can do that.
No, she didn't. I'm joking.
Go.
That
has been it.
That has been it. We hope you enjoyed. And don't forget, it's never too late for the first time. She's digging my ear. Hey, for the outro, can you call me something?
No.
Oh, you jerkhole. All right, well, I do love you, so.
I do love you. It has nothing to do with that.
All right, babe.
Hope you know that. Oh. Car.
Oh, my God.
Peace out.
Peace out.